We got to do this. We got to get it out of the way. It'll only take once. And by the way, nobody will know because I'm going to put the idea of this piece in the thumbnail and nobody's going to click on it. But it's actually my point. Like, this is very polite. It's very polite to pretend that you want Amanda Nunes to come back. It's very polite. I'm not really sure why you're doing it. You didn't get excited when she was here the first time. You didn't come out, you didn't buy a t-shirt. You wouldn't watch the show because you didn't buy the pay-per-view because. And now you're pretending that you want her to come back. And she's the greatest of all time. I have also met her. She turns out she's like a really, really nice human being in addition to that. It's not a commentary on that. You don't want to see her fight. And you never did. So I struggle with this newfound curiosity of will she come back? Whether I met her and she was nice to me or not, and whether I sit back and I acknowledge her as the GOAT or not, I, in this role of being your advisor, will always tell you the story the way the story happened. Period. Of personal belief. So let's discuss the story of Amanda and Kayla the way that it happened. Amanda was the queen of the world. She had the belt to prove it. In fact, I think she had two. But without question, she was the best. Now, there's many times throughout history, the entire Ronda Rousey era, there's times where we didn't know who should have the belt, and we just gave it to somebody. And we didn't know who should challenge for the belt. So we just gave that chance to somebody. We didn't actually know by the time Amanda got here, and moreover, by the time Amanda left. We knew, for sure and not maybe, who the best on earth at that craft was in two different weight classes. Okay. But it's important that you understand this, because on day one that Amanda puts her hand out and says, "Hello, I'm Amanda," and another gal says, "Hello, my name is Kayla." On that day, from that day, until right now, Amanda is not one teeny tiny millimeter better than she was that day. However good she was the day she reached out and said, "I am Amanda," and that person said, my name is Kayla. Amanda is not one technique, one stroke, one move, one combination, one bit better. And that isn't true for Kayla. Kayla of today, if she could compete with that Kayla, Kayla of today would beat that Kayla in well under 3 minutes. That Kayla that reached out and introduced herself to Amanda had a judo background. And judo, as it pertains to MMA, sucks. Judo's history and lineage and level of success in an actual fight sucks. If you had no experience, but you're kind of a local tough guy, and you ran into a trained expert in judo and you got in a fight in the streets, you could definitely win. It wouldn't be a lock, but you could. It sucks. But she took that. She took that skill, which wasn't overly helpful. But inside, to get that skill, that's what she still uses today, which is a drive. I'm talking about Kayla now. Which is a goal, which is to be driven, which is to be tougher than your opponent, which is to be able to meet somebody in front of the world with all the lights on when it really freaking matters and find a way to win. Those were the things that Kayla possessed the day she reached out and met Amanda, who was a 2-division champion of the world. And the first to agree with me that Kayla's skill set of judo was essentially useless for the sport that she wants to pursue was Kayla, which is why she didn't go join the American judo team. she went and joined the American Top Team, who, if you go to the front desk and get a brochure, you even look them up online, offers every form of combat you could think of except for judo, because judo sucks. But it's very important that you understand this, because not long after that meeting, Amanda left the gym. Specifically. Not a hint, not a rumor, not 2, 3, maybe 4 different things. One thing made her leave the gym: Kayla Harrison. Now, what about it? Did Kayla smell a certain way? Did Kayla act a certain way? What about Kayla's presence in a room would make you never return again to that room? I don't know. That part of the story is left to guess. But the day that Amanda decided this girl is getting knowledge and she's getting attention and she's coming up and she's got the goal, which is the same one that I have. She wants the belt, the very belts that I have. I need to leave. That day, Kayla Harrison sucked at MMA in comparison to what Kayla is today. And that day, Amanda was the best in the world at MMA. And she's not one bit better today. It would simply be impossible. When Amanda left the American Top Team, she did not look the same. And that went from her suffering her first defeat all the way to getting that belt back. But in both appearances, there was one commonality, which is she looked very tired. She simply, on her own, was not able to push and work out to the level that she could do when she was at the American Top Team. That's just the truth. And God bless her, she understood it and said goodbye. It was the right thing to do. But make believing that we can take a year off or 2 years off, or how long has it even been 3 years? And then come back to something that we left in the very first place is silly. These are silly things. Make believing we're going to come back and we're going to do it at a weight class which was extremely difficult to make 3 years ago. This is silly. This isn't what reasonable people think. And to believe that that girl that we once were intimidated enough from, that we've called a new place home, that girl wasn't any good at this then. But she possessed something that made the world champion be the one to leave. That's exactly the way that story happened. And I do believe in my heart, I don't know it, but I believe, had Amanda, the day she reached out and introduced herself, and this other person says, I'm Kayla, and if we pushed everybody back and we fought them right then, I do believe that Amanda would have won. But you'd better be sure that she would have won. And you had better understand, where's that gap at? Because whatever that Amanda was, she's not anymore. She can't be. It's impossible. She hasn't done this. You don't get better by not doing it. So let's just bring her down just a little bit. And then now we're merely we're merely betting on the rise of Kayla. This is just basic logic. Wherever Amanda was, we know she's not. We know she came down. But there was a gap. She was beating everybody pretty easy. Right? Wherever Kayla was, we know she's not. We know she's now learned. So how big was that gap? That very gap that existed when one of them cleared out their locker. So while the headlines are out that Amanda's back, Amanda's wonderful, by the way. And she watches all my stuff. I really don't want to hurt Amanda's feelings. I really don't. But there's a time that you retire and you pass the torch to somebody else. Of all the headlines that are saying that Amanda's back, we do not play that in this industry. Any more than Conor saying he's back, or Masvidal announced he's back, or if Chael was to come and say it right now. That's not how this is played. There is a pool. When you enter the pool, you are then back. Now, whether you enter the pool willfully or you've been given access to the pool, either way, we accept you as back. Stop with the headline that Amanda's back. It is public information who's in the pool, and you can search it up and down. You will not find Amanda Nunes.